Patrick Mahomes and his wife, Brittany Mahomes, headline an ownership group working to bring the WNBA to Kansas City.
There were instances where she failed to call timeouts during critical moments.
They've already got a new team coming next year, their 13th team. Then I think the next year they got 2 more teams coming. And now Kansas City wants to be the 16th team.
And her defensive strategies were questioned. Some feel that sides might be better suited for a lower-level coaching position.
I know you haven't watched nearly as much of this as me, but this is why I keep saying the WNBA is a really poorly run league. Adam Silver's to blame. Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA, are to blame.
As her tactics seem more aligned with junior high or small high school teams.
This league can't handle expansion right now. They're struggling for 144 players on the 12 teams they have. There's not 48, 4 more teams times 12. There's not 48 more players. You're talking about watering down a league that has 1 star.
The players often appeared to be winning despite her coaching rather than because of it.
A handful of good, interesting players, and then a bunch of women that struggle to make layups, and you're talking about adding 48 more players? They're trying to do too much too soon, in my opinion. Caitlin Clark has made them delusional.
While other names like Cheryl Miller are being mentioned, Stephanie White remains the top candidate for the Fever's head coaching job.
I got a source. Yeah, I heard Caitlin Clark this offseason is doing a lot of military press because she's got to carry 4 more teams on her broad shoulders. I mean, Jason, again, I know I'm making an apples to oranges comparison, but this is what it reminds me of.
In a recent WNBA playoff game, Caitlin Clark experienced an eye poke from Dejonai Carrington, which sparked a lot of discussion. This reminds me of an event that changed my life. In 2016, I was driving to a reunion with friends when a distracted driver ran a red light and crashed into me. My car was total, and I ended up needing multiple knee surgeries. Insurance companies often try to pay you less than what you deserve after an accident, which is why I'm excited to introduce our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the country and can fight for the best possible result for your case if you become their client. Whether it's a minor accident or something more serious, they make sure the insurance company doesn't shortchange you. The best part? You don't pay them up front. If they don't win, you don't pay. If you ever find yourself in an accident, remember your options. You can start your claim now by clicking the link in description below. Thanks to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. Her experience and success make her an attractive choice to lead a talented roster that includes Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston. It's finally happening.
Remember the dearly departed United States Football League? I was actually a big fan watching that as a young child in Valencia, California. One of the few sporting events my dad ever took me to, believe it or not, was the New Jersey Generals playing the LA Express at the Coliseum. My dad worked for Miller Lite. He had got tickets through the company. First game of Herschel Walker, by the way.
People are talking about potential new coaches for the Indiana Fever, and names like Stephanie White, Caitlin Clark, and even Cheryl Miller are being thrown around.
And the New Jersey Generals had this owner. Don't know whatever happened to him. Anyway, so here's the thing. The worst mistake that league made, in my opinion, was expanding after a first year. People forget they actually got decent television ratings on ABC and then ESPN.
There's also a mention of Lisa Bluter coming out of retirement, which is interesting given her connection to Caitlin Clark.
Mistake they ever made. They expanded too quickly, and then they made that ill-fated move with the lawsuit, and they tried to move to the fall and it ended the league. So it's a little bit different.
Many believe Stephanie White is the top contender, but we'll have to wait and see. The Fever definitely have the potential to win another championship with the right coach.
Chet Simmons, I believe, was their commissioner. And if I'm not mistaken, they had about 12 teams. They hit all the major markets. And out of nowhere, they said, okay, we're going to add 6 more. And if you read the books, you do the research, which I've done a little bit, it's the worst mistake they could have made. And here's the thing, Jason. The USFL actually had some major stars like Herschel Walker.
The current team has underachieved, and it's clear they need a change.
And they had a bunch of Hall of Famers that were quality football players that we all knew through either their association with their college or really good long careers in the National Football League. And it's the worst.
The recent firing of Christy Sides has sparked a lot of discussion. Despite being the first coach to take the Fever to the playoffs, her defensive strategies, especially against pick and rolls, were a major issue. Many fans are relieved by her departure and are optimistic about the future. Some even suggested Mark Jackson, an NBA coach with connections to Indiana, could be a good fit. However, this seems less likely. Caitlin Clark's skills are often compared to those of Steph Curry and Larry Bird, mixed with the branding of Michael Jordan, so a coach who can unlock her full potential is crucial. The general consensus is that the team needs a significant upgrade, and Stephanie White is a strong candidate. She is expected to bring a defensive mindset that the team desperately needs. The excitement is palpable, with many fans believing the Fever could become unstoppable under new leadership. While Cheryl Miller's name is mentioned, it's clear she is not looking to return to coaching full-time. Despite this, her influence on the game and her connection with Caitlin Clark make her a notable mention. However, the majority of fans and commentators are betting on Stephanie White to take the helm and lead the Fever to victory. Stephanie White has strong ties to Indiana, which makes her a compelling candidate for the job. I've been advocating for an NBA coach like Mark Jackson, but White could be an excellent fit for the Fever. While we don't know for certain where White will end up, it's interesting to see that the Fever is having discussions with her. Apparently, the Chicago Sky is also in the mix, but I'm not sure if White would want to take on the challenges in Chicago. There are several reasons why Stephanie White might prefer the Indiana Fever. Before we delve into the speculation about Christy Sides' potential return, let's take a moment to consider White's perspective. A video surfaced this morning where White talks about the future of the Indiana Fever, and it's definitely worth a listen. So, what do you think? Could Stephanie White be the right person to lead the Fever to success? Let's discuss. Here are the key points to consider. First, Stephanie White has a deep connection to Indiana. She played for the Indiana Fever, is from the state, and has a rich history with the team. This alignment makes her a nearly perfect fit for the coaching position. It's almost too good to be true, given her background and the potential she brings.